Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. It's a title decider or just another game. I've been asked this question too many times in the last couple of days. I actually have no idea. We've got a great show for you. We'll talk about the Liverpool Man City game. I don't know why I keep mentioning Liverpool first, even though they are away for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they're the underdogs. But I'm here with two great guests, of course. In this Thanksgiving Day, happy Thanksgiving to you if you're in the US or anywhere in the world and you celebrate that. I'm here with the LB. Lewis is here representing Man City. Of course. How are you doing, man? Everything is good?
Everything is good, bro. Good morning. Good afternoon to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man. Hopefully you have a blessed day. And we are ready for this preview stream. I'm looking forward to it, man.
And I'm here with Hussam from This Is Football, of course. You sound relaxed somehow, Hussam. Even though you're going to the Etihad, you haven't won in like 50,000 years or something.
First of all, you need to give me better intros. That's number one. Number two, Mike Das, you fraud. It's like 4 p.m. over here. What do you mean I didn't know Hussam wakes up at this time? This is the problem with this comment section. Anyway, big up Footy Judge Mo. Make sure guys are liking and subscribing. I was supposed to be here last week. I kept sending Mo videos of my laptop. It refused to work for God knows what reason. But we're here today. Thursdays at 1. Hussam and LB, the magical City Pool connection, as they call it. I feel good, to be honest with you. I'm not scared anymore because I don't employ Henderson. I don't employ Fabinho. I don't employ any of the players who kept letting us down last season. Obviously, when you have Szoboszlai in your midfield, when you have Gravenberch in your midfield, when you have McAllister in midfield, you will smile on a preview. It's normal. But big up for having me. Big up LB as well, man, like Lee Boyer. Make sure guys are liking and subscribing in the chat as well. Big up, LB.
Thanks for everybody that is joining us. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Of course, here you go. Edward just gifted 10 memberships to the people. So if you just became a member, just thank Edward, of course.
Well
thank
done,
you so
Edward.
much.
Well done.
Thank you so much, Edward, for this. Listen, we're just gonna start right away. I don't want to waste time in this. I'm actually go to the home team. And we spoke yesterday, me and LB, about this. How confident are you in this game?
I'm pretty confident. Like they've never Klopp's never beaten Pep Guardiola at the Etihad in the Premier League, so that is obviously good sort of history. Whoa, why are you starting with this already, man? Hussam, what is that?
So the team that we played in the Champions League was another team. Was it called Manchester Blue with another manager?
Did I said the Premier League? What was wrong
We're
with
not
that?
going to separate them. Tomato. We beat you.
Why?
No, it's completely different. He's absolutely right. I'll tell you why. Because it's a home and away game in the Champions League. The calculations are different. The tactics are different. In the Premier League, it's 3 points. It's completely different.
Correct.
That doesn't mean that we didn't beat them.
Take the L and move on. Take the L and move on.
No. I'm not moving. I'm not moving on.
My God. Oh my
God. Same team.
I didn't say
the same manager, the same club, the same institution. We beat them at the Etihad. I'm sorry, 2018 last time we were.
That's true. I didn't say that. I said in the Premier League. I didn't say nothing. I said there was wrong. Factually, everything I just said there was correct. Is that not true? I mean, you have a manager previously who liked to speak about facts, and that's all I did. These are the facts. These are the facts, as Rafa said. So they've not beaten us in the Premier League at the Etihad under Pep Guardiola and Klopp. So that's obviously a good sign. I think our injuries are going to be okay. Maybe 5-6 days ago, we was a little bit worried that maybe quite a few of our players were out. But I think they're going to be okay from what we're hearing. Now, we'll find out whether or not that's true. I think tomorrow is the press conference. Usually it's on the Friday. So hopefully we'll get some news on that. But I think they're going to be okay. And and I just think we're at home. We've got a great record at home. So yeah, why shouldn't I not be confident? I still think that we can get at Liverpool's midfield and defence. I still think their fullbacks are weak defensively. Again, I think that's an opinion shared by most football fans around the world. And ultimately, it's still early in the season. We're at home. Even if we lose, it's not the end of the world. So, yeah, man, I'm confident going into this game. Why not?
Do you know what I just heard? I'm being honest. LB kept saying I'm confident, but he keeps giving already but if this happens, if we lose, it's okay. You know what I mean? When you're confident, but you keep saying, if we lose, it's okay. You're already preparing yourself that there is a chance you lose.
No.
Is that how you heard it, Hussam? Is that how you heard it? Exactly. You bottled it, of course, like your coach at the Etihad. You muted yourself, of course.
First of all, relax, moment. I beat him at the Etihad in the Champions League. Second of all, yeah, the more he spoke, the less convinced he sounds. To be honest with you, I'll be real. The more he spoke, the less convinced he sounds. But listen, we know Liverpool intimidate opponents. First of all, let me address the garbage. You know, LB, you know you're my guy, but what you just said is absolute garbage. First of all, Trent has had one bad defensive game this whole season, and that's Luton. Kyle Walker factually
Not
has had-
Newcastle away. Not Newcastle away.
Okay, no problem. You could say that game he was bad. It's okay. But that game it was more on Van Dijk and the centre backs. But it's okay if you want to say Trent was bad that game. Kyle Walker was factually bad, horrible against Chelsea. And he was factually bad against Mitoma as well. Because Mitoma roasted the shit out of him. I didn't watch every single City game, so I'm sure he's had bad games as well.
This is shameless, man. This is shameless, bro.
I'm not being shameless at all. If I had a choice right now who I would rather have in my team, I'm choosing Trent over any
From,
right back.
from a defensive point of view, you're saying you'd rather take Trent over Kyle Walker from a defensive point of view.
I'm saying this. We're not speaking about this season. We're not talking overall.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, right now. You're
No,
telling
if we're
me
talking
that you take...
overall, if we're talking overall, then Kyle Walker has a shout to be the best right back in Premier League history. I've got no problem saying that.
No,
But
not right now. If you have your team right now and you're choosing a defensive right back, which is what LB is saying, would you choose Trent or Kyle Walker?
Okay, but let me tell you why that question is wrong to begin with. This is called the straw man argument. I'll tell you why. You know why it's called the straw man argument? Because it's 2023 and LB knows just as much as anyone. Defensive right backs, no one gives a shit about them anymore. Let's be real. Who would sign Wan-Bissaka at any big team? Who's signing Wan-Bissaka right now? No one. If you brought to this stream right now the Bayern manager, the Real Madrid manager, the Barca manager, Juve, whoever the hell, no one's choosing Wan-Bissaka. They're all choosing Trent, Walker, whoever over Wan-Bissaka. So for me, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a generational player that can win me a game and that can change me a fixture with one pass. And that's something that no other right back for me in the world offers. I can get a 40-yard diagonal in behind to the left winger or to the striker that can win me a game 1-0. And that's something that no one other than Trent offers. Second of all, Trent has been better defensively than Walker this season, if we're talking about on form. Because what I don't do is I keep having old opinions. Last season, Van Dijk was crap. This season, Van Dijk's been one of the best centre-backs in the league. I'm not going to hold last season's opinion headed into this season. If this stream was in November 2022, I would be nodding along to everything LB says. Yeah, Trent's been crap. Yeah, Van Dijk's crap. Our defense, blah, blah, blah.
This is shocking. This is a shocking take, Hassan, bro. This is a shocking...
All
I said was your fullbacks are weak defensively. Trent is not the best defensive. He's not very good at defending. I think that's a fair comment.
I think Robertson's been worse than Trent defensively this season.
Possibly, but I still, that doesn't take away from the argument that I've just made. I think we can get at your fullbacks. We can get at Trent and we can get at Tsimikas. That is a fair comment to make. And you've just said that you take Trent from a defensive point of view, which is why I said it, because that's the whole that's the angle I was coming at, is whoever plays left wing for us should be going at Trent. Whoever plays right wing for us should be going at Tsimikas, because they're two weak points of your team, in my opinion, from a defensive point of view. But then you went on to say that you think he's done a better job defensively than Walker.
This season, yes.
Nah, this season, yes.
If we're talking about overall and attributes, no, but I'm just talking about this season. This season specifically, Trent's been on it defensively. Trent locked up Mitoma. And when Joe Gomez came on, Joe Gomez is supposed to be the defensive guy. Mitoma roasted him. If I'm just talking about on form right now, that's all I'm talking about, to be honest with you. And if you're saying they can get at our fullbacks, I have no problem with that. I think that's not the weak point, though, in our team. The weak point is that gaping hole in the DM, in my opinion. But if I'm talking about getting on to fullbacks, then that's where I'm most excited, to be honest with you. I can't wait for Diaz to roast the shit out of Kyle Walker. Send him back to Spurs. Ange Postecoglou needs a right back, I heard. I need Salah to do to Guardiola what happened to him against Chelsea as well. So, listen, to be honest with you, people need to understand something. I'm not scared of City. I'm not going to come up here and you're not going to get Arsenal treatment from me. Oh my God, I'm so scared of going to the Etihad. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I don't give a fuck. I support Liverpool Football Club. Currently, we're joint second in the league. We have the strongest defense in the league. I have a lethal strike force. I have nothing to be worried about, to be honest with you. Manchester City have all my respect. I already told LB, I think the Etihad, and this is where I'm humble also. I'm not delusional. The Etihad is the toughest stadium to go to in the league. Liverpool Football Club have Anfield, but Anfield comes second to the Etihad currently because Manchester City are unbelievable at home. That does not mean that I have to come there and be scared. I'm not scared. I back my team, and I think we have players that can hurt Manchester City. He's talking about fullbacks and wingers. I can't wait for Mo Salah against Guardiola. I can't wait for Diaz against Walker. That's going to be unbelievable, to be honest with you.
He just gave us a speech. But
I cannot believe this. What he's saying, man. I cannot believe this. But it is what it is.
I am just gonna say a couple of things about this. Number one, Trent is not a right back. He hasn't played as a right back. He is a modern right back that inverts inside, like John Stones did last year from the center back. Kyle Walker is a pure right center back this year, or right back this year. So completely, absolutely, they cannot compare. Trent is better going forward, is better in distribution in the midfield and everything. Kyle Walker is better coverage, is better in defensive attributes as well. Kyle Walker is one of the reasons that allows City to press higher on the pitch because of his speed, because of his ability to recover in the transition. Trent cannot do that. So both of them are completely different football players. And they have been over their careers, by the way. They're completely different football players. So it depends what the coach wants. If you put Trent in Kyle Walker's position, Man City will lead goals. Man City will lead goals. And if you put Kyle Walker in Trent's position, Liverpool won't be able to play the football you play. That's the fair assessment of both, in my opinion. If you say Trent has been better defensively, I disagree with you, because it's not only about a one-on-one against Mitoma. It's about allowing your teammates to go forward. It's your coverage, it's your speed, and all of this stuff. That's my opinion about it. And this is how I'm seeing.
Yeah, but this is just based on form this season.
I'm just talking about this form this season. I'm actually
you're having an overall conversation.
I'm talking about the first 12 games. Trent has inverted. Trent has absolutely helped McAllister in the middle, and he's not played as a right back. Kyle Walker purely played on the line or a right center back, right? Covering the one that inverts if it's a Kanji or whoever is inverting in the midfield.
Yeah, but now you're talking about
different position. Yes, so depending. Okay, the question is, and I'm going to take LB, and it's just a easy answer. In your system that you play now, would you take Trent to replace Kyle Walker?
No.
And Hussam is the same for you. If I ask you to take Kyle Walker to convert in the midfield, you can do that, because both teams are using the right backs completely different. This is not, as you said, 2000.
I agree with you. I have no problem with that, Mo. I don't think
you just said that Trent defensively better.
I'm saying this season, if I'm saying based on form, this season, Trent's been better defensively than Walker. That's not an insult.
Absolutely wrong. Trent doesn't have even to defend most of the games. He doesn't even have to defend.
Listen,
I don't want to waste most of the stream on this, because everyone that watch Liverpool knows that Trent isn't the one that defend. Trent inverts, Trent distribute the ball. Trent doesn't defend. When he goes one-on-one, he's too slow to recover, bro. On the transition, everybody tries to hit you from that side. Newcastle, Anthony Gordon went behind him. The guy should have been sent off, or might have been
went behind Walker. Sterling went behind Walker. You get annoyed when I give you facts. What just doesn't matter?
Mitoma didn't get Mitoma one-on-one. There was a lot. You were playing behind a little bit. It wasn't just one-on-one. It was a team effort to lock Mitoma down. The difference is Kyle Walker can lock people one-on-ones on that side, on the transition, on a 50-yard sprint. Okay, this is the fact. On a 50-yard sprint, when the team loses the ball on the transition, your opposition, Trent cannot do shit. Kyle Walker can hold one-on-one. Kyle Walker can do that. So Kyle Walker
in transition, because Kyle Walker is quick.
That's it. That's my point. Both teams. So one of the reasons both teams try to press high. You would rather have Kyle Walker holding the defense than Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you want to play ball position,
I wouldn't.
Okay,
this season.
That's your opinion.
No. This season for me, Trent's been better. That's just my opinion.
All right. Okay. Let me do the super chat. Honesty or interest, thank you. Why aren't Liverpool title contenders when points wise we are better than when we won the Premier League and Virgil van Dijk smokes Diaz? Virgil van Dijk is still the king. I actually want to ask this question to both of you, because I've had this conversation over the past 3-4 days. Has Liverpool been under the radar the best team in the league?
No.
Okay, the reason why I'm saying that, because Liverpool, apart from the Spurs game, who we all know what happened there. It was just unfortunate. It was not a call against them. They could have been unbeaten with maybe even if they get a point, with the same points as Manchester City. Liverpool have played Chelsea away, have played Spurs away, have played Newcastle away. Who else have you played? You have played Brighton away. So they have
Brighton away.
had a tough start to the season. So
We're about to go City away as well.
so why people sit here and say, well, they have is it based on the treble winners last year? Or is it based on current 12 games? LB, seriously, genuine question, by the way.
Have Liverpool been the best team in the league, yeah?
Yes.
Well, they're not the best team in the league because they're not top of the league. We've literally got the best metric in the world of a league table to prove who's the best team and who's the worst team. That's why who's bottom of the league, Sheffield United, Burnley, these are the worst teams in the division, right? This is how it works. Have Liverpool... I mean, I don't really know what people expected from Liverpool. Everyone expected Liverpool to be up near the top of the table. You know what I mean? No one expected them to be in the same position as they were last year. They probably outperformed slightly what people expected. I think the midfield is doing better than probably people expected, and their defense is doing better because Van Dijk is improved. So I don't really think that this is like a mad shock. You know what I mean? It wasn't like when Spurs were top of the table. Everyone was like, oh, how are Spurs top of the table? Like, everyone expected Liverpool to be where they are. They're probably doing slightly better than we expected. But yeah, I don't go under. I guess they're going under the radar in the sense that no one's really speaking about them that much because everyone's been speaking about City and Arsenal. But I just think they are where they are. You know, I don't really think there's much to speak on, really.
Sam, the question to you as well. I presented the fact is that you could have been unbeaten, and you're the one, by the way, you put this in my mind. Like, I was watching your stream one day and you kept saying we should not have lost that Spurs game. We should have been unbeaten. And I'm like, I looked at it and like, yes, the table don't lie now, but factually you were just unlucky again. It's not a call, it's not a subjective call against you. The call was already given that it's a goal. You should have been ahead in this game.
I think the game away at Spurs is the biggest robbery with VAR I've ever seen. Without VAR, there are many robberies like Chelsea, Barcelona. That Spurs game, there's a reason why now the Kovacic didn't get sent off against Arsenal. There's a reason why Havertz didn't get sent off against Newcastle, that Curtis Jones tackle and shit like that. I think they're changing up the way they're kind of officiating as well, to be honest with you. Because at the start of the season, the red cards were getting ridiculous. To all clubs, people are just getting sent off left, right, and center. And I think they were taking the piss. But anyway, I don't think Liverpool are the best team in the league. I think City are. I agree with LB. Table doesn't lie. If the game against Spurs was different, then who knows what happens after that, to be honest with you. But I think that game against Spurs definitely, we were robbed in that game. Minimum, we deserved the draw. And I think, you're saying draw minimum, which is fair, but I think we generally would have won that game if it weren't for VAR completely like changing the result of the game. VAR was the main character in that game, unfortunately, and it didn't show me anything about Spurs I didn't know, and that's why I didn't big up Spurs. Are Liverpool going under the radar? Yes. And LB hasn't met the United fans that I met that thought that they were going to challenge for the league and Liverpool going to finish fourth. So it has been a shock for a few people, specifically deluded Man United fans, because make no mistake, Man United fans are the worst fans to speak to, football-wise. Worst fans by far. 100% worst fans to speak to, Man United fans. And yeah, when I spoke to them in the summer, they were telling me how Ten Hag is going to challenge and, he done better than Pep and done better than Klopp in his first season and better than Arteta, and he's going to do this and the revolutionary Dutch style and blah, blah, blah. So that's just shots at Man United that they deserve. They can hold that as well. Come on, Everton. Come on, Galatasaray. I don't think we're the best team in the league. The table don't
Why
lie.
have we talking about Man United now? I'm not getting this.
Because LB said no one expected, we expected them to be here. Man United fans didn't, because they're delusional. That's the problem.
So you expected to be here in the beginning of the season. You thought that.
Yeah, I said from the
challenging
start that it's going to be a three-way challenge: Liverpool, City, and Arsenal.
Oh, right.
And I said at the start of the season that I thought Liverpool would be City's main title contenders as well. So this isn't a shock. You know what I mean? And I think United fans just got overly gassed. I think, if you actually look at last year, there was a lot of red flags. I mean, how you can lose 7-0 to Liverpool, get beat 6-3 off of Manchester City, and then expect to be challenging for the title. You're in cloud cuckoo land. Last year, the Premier League was a very weird place. You know what I mean? You had Chelsea falling off. You had Liverpool falling off. They got into the top 4. Their cup runs were ridiculously easy. They were the worst team in the Carabao Cup final, and they got beat off City in the FA Cup final. Like, congratulations. They had a good season. They did. But ultimately, there was a lot of red flags and caveats to some of the stuff that they achieved. And ultimately, the signings that they made in the summer weren't very good. Like, they weren't going to improve their side a lot. So, I don't know why they got gassed. I don't know why that.
They thought they were going to win the league with Mountain midfield. That's crazy.
I actually don't know why we're talking about Man United, but fine. I think they're irrelevant
funny,
at the moment.
Because you asked if we're going under the radar or not. We are if you're speaking. We're not if we're speaking to.
But every time I'm speaking to a Liverpool fan, they tell me, no, we're not winning the league. We're not winning the league. We're not winning the league. Even though you're 1 point behind Manchester City. And I don't see the reason why you can't win the league. Because you don't have a DM.
Who says that?
A lot of Liverpool fans sit here and tell me that they don't have a chance of winning the league. Here you go. Here you go. Al Mahdi is saying Liverpool ain't in no title race.
Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan.
I've seen a lot of people telling me that they are not in that Liverpool aren't in a title race, and the difference is when I sit here, I give the reasons why City are favorites to win the league. I give the reasons why Liverpool will have a chance of winning the league. I give the reasons why Arsenal. While other people come on this show most of the time and tell me why other teams won't win the league, and I'm like, you're trying just to make the easy choice to say that why Liverpool won't win the league. Which is, it's fine, but also give the reasons why we think Liverpool have a chance of winning the league. They have been good. Their defense, Van Dijk going back to his best will make a huge difference. Even without a DM, by the way. Yeah, for the long term, even without a DM, you might lose a game here and there, but Van Dijk going to his best makes a big difference. It's the same when Kevin De Bruyne comes back. All this talk about Manchester City is not the same. Watch when Kevin De Bruyne comes back behind Haaland. Watch again. Now watch what's going to happen. Bernardo, Kevin De Bruyne, and Rodri in the midfield. Who can beat that? Doku on the left. There is creativity everywhere. So I just want to say that Van Dijk going back to his best is going to make a massive difference. I don't know what is going to happen to Robertson on the left. But Liverpool have every chance of winning the league. It's not as much as Manchester City, but they have. So let me go back to this game, but let me do this couple of super chats. Mike Ramsey is saying Liverpool have no chance because Klopp will not drop Trent. What? And play Gomez at right back. Osam, don't mention Diaz because your front three, Salah, Jota, Gakpo. What? What is this?
I don't think that will be the front three. I don't think that will be the front three. Personally.
Why would you want him to drop Trent? I'm not getting that, Michael Ramsey. Why do you want him to?
Michael Ramsey is just all over the place. I'll be honest with you. He's just so negative all over the place. That's an L right there. That's an L super chat. And that's a bad front three as well.
Yeah, Kate. Oh, big up, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Kate, a girl who loves Spurs. Big up, Kate. Walker is on a whole another level to Trent facts.
The fact that you spent £2 to tell the world
God.
that Walker is on another level to Trent.
She believes in it.
Can I just respond to Kate, please? You're a delusional Spurs fan because Walker is ex-Spurs. So you think you could claim him. He has spent more time at City and has won more in his first season at City than you've seen your whole life. So big up Kyle Walker at Manchester City.
Rodri, lucky deflection goal incoming.
Come on, man. Kate.
You're just very sensitive. You're just very sensitive about Trent. You have been always sensitive about Trent.
I think a lot of Liverpool fans are very sensitive about
Trent's the best right back in the world. I don't give a fuck.
Bro, he's not even a right back.
Nah, he's not. He's nowhere near the
best. He's not even a right back.
You can change it all you want. I don't care. When the team starts, he starts right.
You know what I mean?
He inverts every now and then. He doesn't invert all the time. This just shows me you don't watch Liverpool closely.
No, I do. Let me ask LB the same question so you know where I'm coming from. LB, has John Stones played centre back last year? At the end of the season.
Did he play centre back? Well, yeah, he played centre back and inverted into midfield, innit?
Exactly. So where's the most places he played? Is that centre back? I took that. You really think that he played centre back?
That's an L right there. That's the biggest L. I took a big L. Question and then he's like, yeah, he played centre back.
Well, it was centre back that inverts into midfield. Bro. What do you want me to say, man?
Would you call John Stones last year a centre back then?
Yes, of course. I would
still call him a centre back. That's his base position, and then he moves into midfield.
So that means Trent is a right back as well. So yeah, I will take that L here. When
Thank
the
you very
Champions League final lineup come up, official lineup, which comes from a paper that Man City gives, and you have John Stones next to Rodri in the midfield. I don't think he's a centre back then. He's a midfielder. But anyway, I'll take the L here, to be honest with you. I think
you did.
John
Yeah, you
Stones
gotta
has been
hold that.
playing. Yeah, for sure.
Like you took the L in the Champions League final, you take another L. It happens.
100%. 100%. I'll take the L here. Okay, Trent is better than Kyle Walker. Facts.
Thank you, Mo. Finally.
It's done. Anyway, so now let's talk about tactical of the game a little bit. How can Liverpool win the game? And does Man City have to worry about anything from Liverpool? Sam?
How can Liverpool win the game? First of all, winning against Manchester City at the Etihad is very difficult. I take a draw right now if given it, and that shows me like it's just you have a different level of respect for Manchester City, because you don't go to the Etihad and thinking, oh my God, I should be winning this game. There's just certain stadiums in the world you don't go to with so much hope, to be honest with you. I would take a draw right now given it, but if you ask me how you beat Manchester City, it's about being clinical. I'm sure LB has probably said it even before on his streams. Sometimes when you watch Manchester City, the opposition do get chances, but they're not clinical enough to take them. That's the worst thing. Like, they just get opportunities, they get chances, but the opposition are always lacking a little bit of quality, to be honest with you. Like, they always lack a little bit of quality to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, we saw with Chelsea as well, for example. Chelsea scored 4 goals against Manchester City. I think the midfield will be a lot different. We'll see if he goes with Rodri, Alvarez, and Silva again. If he goes with that midfield, then I'll be a bit more confident, because I think that's imbalanced. However, how we can beat them is our biggest strength, our front three. Our front three is our biggest strength, and it remains our biggest strength. I think we have the best forward line in the league. If we're talking about forward line plus options on the bench, if you list them up, like you're talking about Mo, you're talking about Diaz, you're talking about Nunez, Gakpo, Jota, those options are all lethal, except Gakpo. I wouldn't call him lethal yet. I think he needs to develop into that. I think we need to be smart with the way we set up our midfield, and we need to pick our moments. This is where people need to understand. You need to play Manchester City with a certain element of respect, but also try to punch them first. The problem is with playing Manchester City is so many teams always wait to get punched by Manchester City, and then they want to respond. But by the time they want to respond, then Manchester City just counter-attack them and make them 2, 3, 4, and then it's game, set, and match. So for me, I want to go into Manchester City trying to punch first. And if we punch first against Manchester City, then I think that opens up the game a little bit more. So for me, my belief is in my forward line. I think the Liverpool forward line is clinical and lethal. And if we take our chances, then I think we can hurt them.
So LB, we spoke yesterday about the tactics and stuff like this, and the reason why I asked Sam how can Liverpool win, because I think it's on them to counter your tactics. But we did a video yesterday, LB, about the tactics and how you think the team will set up. If you guys haven't watched that, a channel, More LB, I'm actually going to put it in the description as well. LB's second channel, go give him a subscription. Please, people need that channel to go to 1,000 sub, of course. He provides videos every day, reactions and stuff. And guys, we have 300 people here and we're not even on 150 likes. I think that's embarrassing. So hit that like button, people, underneath your live chat. LB, do you need to change anything? Because the discussion between me and you about Nunez and Bernardo, Hassan is saying that if you play Alvarez, Bernardo, Rodri, it's imbalanced.
No, I think it depends on how we utilize Bernardo Silva in the midfield. Should he play in midfield? I think against Chelsea, Pep went to Stamford Bridge and thought we can just outscore these. You know what I mean? these ain't clinical side, and he was kind of right to a degree. I mean, all our defending was absolutely atrocious. I mean, if our defenders didn't switch off, I mean, obviously you had Guardiola with mistakes, Diaz with mistakes, Walker with mistakes, like so many mistakes. He was kind of right to a certain extent. But I think what it proves is when you go with a tactic like that, it's not in your control, right? You need other shit to happen. And so I think in this game, just tighten up that midfield a little bit. Tell Bernardo Silva to stay a little bit further back, and then the question is, do you then say to Alvarez, you're our main creative player, which is, do you really trust Alvarez to create that much? I also think Jack Grealish is going to play left wing instead of Jeremy Doku, which can give us extra protection defensively down that left-hand side. So Yeah, I don't really see the squad being completely different to the way at Chelsea. I think maybe just Doku to come out for Grealish, but I think the way that he sets up with Bernardo Silva, I think you'll see Bernardo Silva more in a double pivot with Rodri rather than pushed up on that left-hand side, which will give us a little bit more security.
Would you?
You think Grealish will start?
I think Grealish will start left wing, yeah.
How come?
Well, you've got the best right winger in world football. So you want to have possibly one of the best left wingers in terms of getting back defensively. I mean, Jack Grealish's work rate is exceptional on that left-hand side. In fact, I think you've seen that last year at the Etihad, didn't you, against Salah, when Salah was on the break and he was pretty much thrown goal and Grealish sprinted all the way back and I think maybe got like a slide challenge in. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons you'll see that. And if you play Bernardo Silva in a slightly more defensive role on the left-hand side of Rodri, then you can have him on the right and have Rodri doing it, but I'd rather Bernardo. Then you've got Gvardiol, or okay, but probably Gvardiol, Bernardo, and Grealish are sort of three man. And this is sort of what me and Mo spoke about yesterday. If you have that, you can then effectively surround Salah with three players, Gvardiol, Bernardo, and Grealish. What that then does, it would give space for Trent Alexander-Arnold in the midfield because you'd have three players on Salah. So do you put two players on Salah? Or not on them, like not man marking them, but do you say like you two have really got to work on Salah here, and have just have one player on Trent, which would probably be Grealish, or do you go three on Salah because of how good he is, but then let Trent have? I mean, I've seen Trent for England in midweek; it was absolutely shocking. So if he plays like that, then obviously that's good. But you do know that he does have good quality. You know, he has good quality to put balls in the box. You have Nunes in there, who's a tall guy. So I don't know, man. It depends what Pep does, but I don't think we'll see a repeat of the Chelsea performance. I don't think that.
Only if you go with the same midfield. Only if you go with the same
Am I the
midfield.
only one here, Hussam, who thinks that Bernardo isn't defensively great? He's more of he runs a lot. He runs a lot and everything, but he isn't. The guy was brought as a right winger. Like, he isn't a defensive guy. Yeah, Pep molded him a little bit. But people keep telling me that he can play next to Rodri. He isn't a defensive guy. He can do a job. But if you play Alvarez, Bernardo, and Rodri is isolated. Unless even Pep tells Bernardo to drop deep, well, you're losing his offensive attributes. Completely losing it.
I think that game against Chelsea, they gave Rodri the Fabinho treatment, which is they gave Rodri everything defensively to do and essentially 50 acres of space to be responsible for. There's something called balance in football, and you need balance. Yes, Rodri is the best DM in the world. That does not mean that I can play a striker in midfield in Alvarez and Bernardo Silva, who I believe is a midfielder, just not a DM, next to him, and expect Rodri to not have a problem. Rodri was essentially like suffocated against Chelsea because they kept attacking him because he was there by himself. That's not Rodri's fault. That's a tactical mistake. The fact that Rodri was there by himself in front of the defender with no real midfielder next to him. That's why, sorry, that's why when what's his name, Kovacic came on and Matheus Nunes came on, you saw them became better directly because of the balance. The balance was there, and they weren't getting attacked as often. They weren't getting cut open. So for me, I think balance is important. In this game. And if I see the same midfield that started against Chelsea, I will 100% be more confident against Manchester City. If I see that same exact three right there, I think, like, if we get the chances that Chelsea got, then it's going to be a long day for Man City.
Yeah, but I think Manchester City fan, because I watched the comments yesterday on LB's video. Manchester City fans really want to go with that midfield, right, LB? Like, people want to play. They don't want to play Nunes in that midfield at all. They want to play Bernardo. They don't trust him. He's injured.
Yeah, but I think what you're missing is it's the position in which Bernardo Silva is playing. Yeah. Hussam is correct against Chelsea. Rodri was isolated because Bernardo wasn't playing a defensive role. He was further up, and this is proved by his heat map. What I'm suggesting is that Bernardo Silva sits next to Rodri and offers more protection in that sort of midfield. But this is the question. Then you give Alvarez the free role in the attacking midfielder, and can he do that? Now, you're talking about Bernardo Silva defensive. I think you're overcomplicating things. This isn't about Bernardo Silva running around and putting in a performance like a prime Fernandinho or prime Kante, Makalele. That's not how these games are won. It's about the spaces in which he occupies. It's about going into the space which Salah wants to run into on his left foot and put inside. Salah looks up and says, I can't go there because Bernardo Silva's there. It's about potentially going into the area where Trent Alexander-Arnold is. It's not about running around, putting in tackles, putting in blocks. It's about being in the right position to stop Liverpool's players from working. You know what I mean? Like, as good as Salah is, if there's 3 or 4 players in front of him, there's probably very little he can do. That's what it's about. And Bernardo Silva has one of the best work rates in the league. So that's why I think we should play him in the midfield. But you don't play him in the same role as you played him against Chelsea. He was played in an advanced position against Chelsea, which is why Rodri got isolated. You got to drop him back 10, 15 yards and play him next to Rodri. That's the difference.
Okay. I
Would
get
you
what you're
play
saying.
Matheus Nunes then? Would you go Rodri, Nunez, and then Bernardo Silva as a 3 in terms of balance? Yeah,
me. No. I
He doesn't trust Nunes at all.
So you're going with the same midfield?
Yes, but playing differently, different system.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Because, like I say, Bernardo was too far advanced in that first game. And that's why I come with the statement. I think Pep Guardiola went to Stamford Bridge and just said, let's outscore these, which, like I said, to a degree worked. It's just our defense dropped to 0 out of 10 performance. So
I don't think he respected Chelsea. That's what
I don't think he did. I agree.
He did
I
not
don't think he did.
respect Chelsea at all. He went in there going like, we're just going to smash the shit out of these. And then
I agree.
Surprise.
Let me do this super chat and then we'll move to because I want to speak about like Haaland and the creativity around him and how he can play against Van Dijk. Rodri, lucky deflecting goal, incoming and end up 1-0. I don't see this game ending up 1-0, to be honest.
They are jammy, dodgy bastards, aren't they? They're so jammy sometimes. But you need to be jammy to win a league. So
you aren't. You're not. You don't get any luck, no.
This season we've been unlucky, if anything. The luck has not been on our side.
Well, we've not been unlucky. We was winning against Arsenal in the Community Shield with 1 or 2 minutes to go, whatever, and they scored a deflected goal. We conceded a deflected goal against Arsenal in the Premier League. Against Wolves, Hwang should have been sent off and then scored the winning goal. They won 2-1 with one shot.
And you should have had a free kick. Why do City fans always fail to mention that part? Because on the build-up to the Alvarez free kick, Cunha was fouled right in front of your goal.
Oh, wow. You're talking about build-up to another free kick. Wow.
No. The Alvarez free kick. Before that, Wolves should have had a free kick and someone should have been sent off for you as well. I don't know who the centre-back was that day, but he fouled Cunha right in front of the penalty box. No foul is given. Come on, man. We can all do this.
You really think that
biggest VAR Rob?
You think that there is something for Man City in this league?
No. I'm just saying because
you keep mentioning stuff.
No. I just think we've been a little bit unlucky.
All right.
That's
all right then. All right.
By the way, that's nothing crazy. I just say Liverpool have been a bit unlucky this season.
You have. Even in the Brighton game, you have been very unlucky.
A bit unlucky. Like Gravenberg missed the sitter from like 2 yards out, bro.
No, you have been unlucky because freaking what's his name should have been sent off when he took Szoboszlai before he scores with wide open
handball.
Goal.
Yeah. See,
one thing
even the host agrees with me.
one thing people forget is that Klopp and the boys love a revenge season, and you can see everyone got the apex predator mentality this season.
Do they?
Bro, you have it. Jurgen Klopp have not won at the Etihad when Pep was managing Man City. How can you be so confident? Sam is saying that he would take a draw right now.
You know what it is? In 1920, we would have beat them at the Etihad. But the game at the Etihad.
What do you mean 1920? Like just 100 years ago?
1920 is not 100 years ago.
Okay.
That's 3 years ago.
90. Okay. 2019.
That's what I thought you meant that as well.
I thought that as well. I swear to God.
Can I speak? 1920 we would have beaten them at the Etihad, bro. But the game was scheduled after we won the league, so they just gave us a guard of honor instead. No problem.
All right. Wolves with a super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Wolves FI. I appreciate you, but man. Michael Ramsey's come back. Trent costs games and titles. Hussein favorite front 3 is Salah, Jota, Gakpo. Liverpool can't win because Klopp will play Rubbish Jones or Elliott. He's coming for you.
Who told you my favorite front 3 is Salah, Jota, Gakpo? There's literally a preview on my channel yesterday where I said I'd play Salah, Nunez, and Diaz. So you're wrong on 2 out of 3 there. And Trent does not cost us games and titles. Trent wins us games and he wins us trophies because he's one of the most important, kind of cogs in the Liverpool machine, 100%. And I don't think Jones has been rubbish this season either. I think Curtis Jones low-key has had a very good season for me so far.
Very.
He's been unlucky with the sending off and the injury, but other than that, every time he's played, I have had nothing to bitch about.
He has been good. I think Curtis Jones is really underrated in my opinion.
Thank
Ozan
you.
Kabak, yo LB, is Haaland really injured? He will start, right?
I think so.
Has Pep given an update yet or not yet?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the update. Well, I think
That's
it's gonna be
mind
okay.
games.
I think it'll
Bro,
be fine.
it's not from Man City. The doctor of Norway is the one who said he had a knock. That isn't Man City's statement. Like Edison, people say, yeah, it's mind games. It's the Brazil doctor. He said he had a knock. It's a report from Brazil. It's not from Man City. But anyway, we'll see how it is. Guys, over 350 of you here. Can we get the likes up a little bit to 150 so we can get more people watching? Haaland this year. Does anybody buy into that notion that Haaland isn't the same without Kevin De Bruyne? He doesn't score his goals. He isn't the same guy as last year. Start with
Well,
Sam.
no, can I start, please?
Yeah, okay,
It's my player, man. It's my player.
Okay. No, but you're going to be biased towards your player, but fine.
He wants to stir the pot, LB. But
Oh,
I won't
yeah.
start.
No, go ahead.
The answer to the question is not going to be as good as Kevin De Bruyne. That isn't stupid to say though. This is Kevin De Bruyne. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Why are people saying, "Oh, he's shit without De Bruyne"? He's not shit without De Bruyne. Is he as good as without De Bruyne? No, but no striker in world football, exclusiva bombazzo, would be as good without Kevin De Bruyne. This is Kevin De Bruyne. We're talking about the best creative midfield in the world. So, you know, the fact he's still top of the Premier League goal scorers. He's got 16 goal contributions in 12 Premier League games, 17 goals, 4 assists in 18 all competitions. I'm pretty happy with how he's performing. But yes, he would probably have more goals if Haaland was if De Bruyne was in the team. That is
The reason
fair.
why I'm saying that because he kind of like missed some chances, and I'm not used to him. Like last year, he was literally scoring most of the chances. 1-on-1s, he was scoring all the chances. Some games this year, he's been missing chances. I don't know why. What's the reason behind it? Is it? I don't know what is the reason behind it. He has been had a very, very good games where he scores every chance, and he had some games where he's kind of like missed 2 sitters, 2 1-on-1s or something. I'm gonna get Wolves, West Ham. I think one in the Champions League where he kept missing chances until he scored. What? Anyway, that's my point, LB. I still think he's the best number 9 in the world at the moment, without anybody even close to him. Anybody?
No,
would
he's
like?
not. No, he's not.
Huh?
No, he's not. No, he's
Okay,
not.
go ahead. See. I told you there's something.
Best
inside.
number 9 in the world? No.
Who's the best number 9 in the world?
Harry Kane. See? Now you're thinking. I didn't say anyone dumb. I said Harry Kane. That's a constructive opinion to have. Despite Kate being in the chat, just calling my name every 30 seconds, I'm gonna go Harry Kane.
I think they're both very good. You know, they're the 2 best strikers in the world. He is playing at Bayern Munich, so obviously he's going to get Bayern Munich taxed with his goals. But you can't. I mean, his record so far this season is unbelievable. But for me, I still think
Some people say there's a Man City tax that needs to be applied as well, so we can go either way if you want.
No, you could do.
It is definitely a Man City tax.
You could do, but I think the Premier League is obviously harder than Germany, which is a fact. So yeah, look, listen, they're the 2 best strikers in the world. I'm not really bothered. You know, they're both great. I'm sure Bayern Munich fans are happy with Kane. I'm sure every single City fan is happy with Haaland. But yeah, I mean, Haaland is what we need. He's a finisher. That's exactly what we need. We didn't really need someone like Kane who drops deep a little bit and gets playmaking, because we have players that can do that. But they're both great players.
Nicholas Jackson is
Look
clear.
at this guy. Lewis, have some shame and decorum, Lewis. Honestly, just have some shame. Where is your shame, you fraud? Anyway, speaking of frauds, let me answer Mo's fraudulent question.
Yeah.
First of all, there are 2 players in this league. If anyone disrespects, I think I wouldn't take you seriously. And that's Kevin De Bruyne and Mo Salah, because they've been doing it for the last 6-7 years consistently.
All right.
So obviously, Haaland is not going to be the same without Kevin De Bruyne. That's fucking Kevin De Bruyne. That's KDB right there. So obviously he'll be a bit different. I think Haaland is getting a little bit of unjust criticism. I think he's been good this season. I don't think he's been bad at all, to be honest with you. I just think Haaland is the striker that we all thought he was. It's not an insult. You need to create chances for Haaland to score. Now, if City sometimes don't create him enough chances, that's a City problem, not a Haaland problem. That's how I look at it personally. Like the Arsenal game, right? People keep mentioning the Arsenal game. He got locked up by Saliba. He got locked up by Gabriel. And he did. And we have credited Saliba and Gabriel, no problem. But can anyone tell me a chance they created Haaland? They didn't create Haaland any chance. So we cannot sit up here and blame Haaland when there was no creativity for him. I thought Doku was very disappointing that game. You know, the wingers for City weren't active. Even the midfielders in behind didn't create Haaland anything, to be honest with you. So Erling Haaland, I think, is a great striker. You just need to create him opportunities and he'll put the ball in the back of the net. Simple as. That's the thing. But that question is fraudulent because I'll either disrespect KDB or disrespect Haaland. But what I did is I disrespected neither. So hold that more.
You know that Haaland has the most big chances missed this year in the league. But anyway.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter though, does it? Because the games...
It doesn't matter because you are top of the league, because you have an amazing team. And
he
you have
had
an
the most
amazing
big chances
coach.
missed last season as well.
He probably did, yeah. And the games that he
He
missed
did.
the chances in, we won anyway. So who cares?
By
get
the
what
way,
you're saying.
the top goal scorer.
But the
usually has
big games is what I'm talking about. The big, like for me, for example, the Arsenal game, I thought he should have done more. But again, Hussam
Done
answered
what?
the question. Hussam answered the question and said, that's not Haaland. You're asking something from
facts.
Haaland that is not his to
Correct.
do. Against Liverpool, for example, if he's marked and there's no chances created for him, I believe as a striker, you should move more. Like Lewandowski used to do that. Harry Kane does that sometimes. Like a lot of strikers used to actually sometimes when it's jammy for them, they're marked, they move away. They create chances for themselves sometimes by going to the spaces. I think Haaland sometimes doesn't do that often because against Arsenal, he was left with abundance of space that he could have moved to. But I thought he surrendered to Saliba and Gabriel.
You think he was moved with an abundance of space?
Yeah, Arsenal at some point in the second half pressed very high that Odegaard and everybody was pressing you in the 18. Don't you
But
think?
he was still
Marked.
tight. He was still touch tight, marked by Saliba most of the game.
But that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. Sometimes, okay. So you're telling me that every striker that is man marked should be just out of the game because he's man marked. Is that what you're telling me?
No, but I just don't know really what
I'm going to tell you. When
do.
you're man marked, but there's space around you where the opposition is pressing, that means you can move to spaces. When you're man marked, okay, like when he was man marked against Wolves, when he was man marked against West Ham, there is no space to go. The lines are very close to each other. But Arsenal pressed high, so Haaland had places to go because there was 50 yards around him to go. Yes, Saliba followed him everywhere, but that's to show that I can do something by myself. I can be man marked and do something by myself. Does anybody disagree with what I'm saying? What
about Pep doesn't want him to do that? What about Pep Guardiola doesn't want him to do that?
No, every time we say something,
not that type of player.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Haaland is not that type. But what did I just say when you asked me the question? Haaland create him a chance, he'll score. Haaland is not Joga Bonito. We all know this, but he doesn't.
So if Liverpool press high against on Saturday, and he is marked by somebody, does that mean automatically Haaland is out of the game? Is out of the game?
Here's the thing.
No,
as the Liverpool,
because that's what LB just told me. He was marked all the game.
No, that's not what I said. No. I think also you got to look at the Arsenal game, and it was a unique game in which both teams didn't want to lose the game. It was very, very tight, and we was away. I think this is going to be different. We're at home. The City are more willing to go and try and press and actually win the game, especially because we've got Rodri and Cole back into the side. So, yeah, I think you're reading way too much into that more. You are.
I am.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm admitting. Listen, do you see this? I'm really admitting to it. The reason why I'm admitting to it, and the reason why I say that, because when we have a player being nominated to Ballon d'Or, and I believe he should have won the Ballon d'Or because he scored abundance of goals last year. Okay, that's why we analyze Man City to the T. We overanalyze. I'm not going to overanalyze Oli Watkins. Does that make sense, LB? Because Oli Watkins is not worth overanalyzing. I'm going to analyze Erling Haaland.
Also, Oli Watkins is overrated, by the way, just so everyone knows.
But that's what I mean. I'm not going to go analyze Dominic Solanke. Who am I overanalyzing? I'm going to... Anyway.
You know what? If you want me to give you an honest answer, right?
Yes, honest answer.
Because of the way Liverpool set up, it's not over-analysis. Some of what you're saying is true. Some of it is true despite you reaching. Some of it is true. As a Liverpool fan, I would rather see Van Dijk and Konate come up against Haaland then Van Dijk and Konate come up against Alvarez. If you're telling me, as an example, which type of striker troubles them more, I'm just giving a genuine example. With Erling Haaland, if Konate is there physically with him, he can match him in terms of pace and power. And then you've got Van Dijk in behind. If you know he gets into space or something, I know. But with Alvarez, for example, his trickery, his dribbling, him as a footballer. Obviously, Alvarez is a quote-unquote better footballer than Haaland. But what we now need to stop pretending and just accept Haaland for who he is as a player. Haaland is a player that if you create him a chance, he will score. Why are we sitting up here and trying to change who he is? This is who he is. Just make him a chance and he'll score. That's it. So this is where Haaland is lethal. And as we have seen, scoring tap-ins and scoring goals in the penalty box ain't as easy as Haaland makes it look. So we need to appreciate that goal-scoring side as well. So that's why
are you saying that? You gave after the Ballon d'Or, you told us, watch the compilation, it's all tap-ins, it is this.
Yeah, and it's the worst compilation of all time. I stick by that. That's the worst compilation I've ever seen of a Ballon d'Or nominee, ever. Because it was all tap-ins and headers. And that has nothing to do with Ballon d'Or, because I thought Messi should have won it, in my opinion. This is it. And if City failed in the Ballon d'Or, I'll tell you why City failed in the Ballon d'Or thing. Because City PR didn't push Rodri enough. Had they pushed Rodri had the strongest case for a Ballon d'Or out of any City player for me.
No,
and also he scored the goal in the final. And he was the best DM in the world. And he is actually, last season, you could genuinely say Rodri was the best midfielder, full stop, in the world. DM.
I agree with that. I agree. But Hussam, Haaland got 61 GA in a season. 61. He broke Premier League records from when there was more football matches played in the country. 61 GA, and he won the treble, bro. He was the one that City were right.
Messi won the World Cup and had
right. So I'm gonna ask you something, Hussam, to back LB here. If Mohamed Salah in the season that he broke the record, you won a triple.
Oh, here we go.
Here you go. It's the same thing. If Mohamed Salah, who broke the Premier League record, let me finish, please.
No, because it's a wrong comparison before you start. Mo Salah's Ronaldinho compared to Haaland. Have some shame. Relax. I just gave Haaland.
But Mo Salah didn't have 60 GA, did he?
My brother, Mo
That's
Salah
the difference.
Had 44 GA. We finished 4th because we employed Lovren and Karius. Okay? So it's different.
So Mohamed Salah. Okay, so Mohamed Salah, okay. If you won a triple that year, would you have rather have him win the Ballon d'Or, or if Messi won the World Cup at that year, would you rather have Messi win the Ballon d'Or?
Okay, let me explain to you how it works.
Yes, explain to me how it works.
Don't interrupt. With the Ballon d'Or, it's not what Hussam wants, or what Mu'min wants, or what LB wants. Whether we like it or not, international football will always be more recognized by journalists. That has nothing to do with me. It's just, unfortunately for everyone, how it's always been. I'm so sorry. That's just how it works. This season, I'll give you a prime example right now. Prime example right here, right now. Let's say Manchester City win the treble again, and Erling Haaland scored 60 goals. What do we have in the summer? A Euros. If France win the Euros and Mbappe just scores 12 goals in the Euros, they'll go like Mbappe should win Ballon d'Or. You know that, right? That's unfortunately how it goes. Should it be that way? No. But that's how it is. And you can look across history. 2002, where all three of us are old enough over here. 2002. Go check right now how many league games R9 played. You know R9 played like 10 or 12 league games. You know he literally won a Ballon d'Or because of what he done at the World Cup alone. So this is something that's been happening across history. 2006 Cannavaro. It's been happening.
So you just told us that Haaland should have won it, but because the World Cup, Messi won it.
No, I believed Messi should have won it.
Isn't that what we under LB? Isn't that what he just said?
No, because Messi was the best player in the world. He should have won it for me. And he performed for PSG. It's a myth that he didn't perform for PSG as well. So just saying. Thank you very much. And Rodri was City's best player. I just explained that. City PR should have been pushing Rodri to win it. That would have been a stronger case.
You're not completely stupid in what you're saying about Rodri, right? Because he was the best midfielder in the world. But
thank you.
How can you push him when your striker has got 61 GA? That's the problem. 61.
I understand that. But Haaland was going to get GA anyway, even the year after. Like, he's going to get goals and assists every single year. Will Rodri have as good as the season as he had last year in his career ever? That's the difference for me.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not having as someone who scores 60 goals win a triple.
Did you see what Chelsea fans done to Jorginho? Do you remember? Do you remember Chelsea fans and Jorginho when they were?
Bro, you can't push Rodri when someone have 60 GA and won a triple, bro, and broke the record of the Premier League. after Salah. Dude, you can't do that. There is no way around it.
I
bro.
understand
There
what you're
is no
saying,
way
and he
around
finished
it.
second, and rightfully so. But for me, Messi deserved it. Simple as. And this summer, next season, inshallah, if happy and safe and healthy, all three of us will be sat here on Footy Judge Mo, inshallah, with 50k subscribers. And what will we be saying? We'll be saying, oh my God, Mbappe won Ballon d'Or just because France won the Euros. This guy should have won it instead.
So you are saying what we're saying. I believe that Messi should have won it because
Yeah,
of
but that's how the
international
standard
football.
works. I'm not the standard setter. I'm not the journalist who votes for Jordan. If I was, I would have voted Messi anyway. So hold that.
Okay, Michael Ramsey saying, liar Hussam, at the start of the season, you and your sidekicks all said Salah, Jota, Gakpo, Trent cost the Champions League title and the EPL title 2 times.
Okay, Michael Ramsey, quickly. Number one, I did say that at the start of the season, but you know what's there's the infamous saying, with new facts arises new opinions. If I see clearly that Luis Diaz currently is the inform left winger, why the fuck would I drop him? Luis Diaz just scored 2 goals against Brazil for Colombia. I'll be the stupidest guy ever if I drop him. Darwin Núñez just scored against Argentina for the first time in 13 years. Uruguay beat Argentina and went to La Paz, beat Bolivia 3-0. He scored twice. Darwin Núñez is in form right now. Gakpo ain't in form like that. Jota ain't in form like that. With our strike force, you need to understand something. We have to play who's in form. We have to play the best players. The only guy, and I said this at the start of the season, only guy that has guaranteed and cemented his spot in the front three is Mo Salah. Other than that, it's interchangeable. Simple as. Simple as. Dependent on the game.
German Chicken Wing is saying, reverse both achievements, who should win it, Hussam? If Haaland won the World Cup and Messi scored all these goals and won a treble.
Norway to the Euros.
Okay. So it's a hypothetical question. If Norway won the World Cup,
3 goals for Norway this year.
He's not answering the question. He's not answering the question. He's not answering the question.
You want to do this again on the stats? You want to do this?
Messi's my GOAT. Messi's my GOAT.
Messi is the GOAT. Messi is the GOAT.
We're not arguing that. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, but I'm only going to be biased because he's my GOAT. Listen,
so you admitted that it's all about the World Cup.
For me,
you admitted that you're biased. You literally admitted that twice.
Okay, L, you know LB is even going to defend me. LB, when I first started speaking, did I not say I'm biased? I said it.
No, you just said
Messi's my GOAT. I already admitted. And for me, the storyline is incredible. Like, the guy won the World Cup at 35 years old and was the de facto best player on his team.
Can you answer the question, please? If Messi won the treble and scored and have 60 GA and Haaland,
then Messi should win the Ballon d'Or.
That's it. See, it's and Haaland led Norway to win a World Cup.
Messi.
Anyway,
man. That's the GOAT.
Anyway, moving on from this, to be honest, I would actually listen. I had one another one about the defense of Man City. Is it a myth that Man City have the best defense in the league? LB, because I actually before Man City before Chelsea you had the best defense, and then you conceded 4, so now you move down the table.
Yeah,
are you worried about the defense at all?
No, not at all, man. We got the best defense in the league. And yeah, no, why would I be worried, man? So you can have off days, isn't it? Everybody can have a bad day at the office. So no, I'm not worried about our defense one little bit. And I think we do have the best defense in the league, yeah.
Earlier on, you asked LB, are Manchester City the best team in the league? And what did he say? There is the most objective statistic, and that's the league table, to prove that Man City are the best team in the league. That is the most objective statistic, and that's goals conceded. I'm sorry, Liverpool have the least goals conceded in the league. Sorry.
With Arsenal.
Yeah, no problem. So you're third. You're not even second.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so off the league table, yeah, you are right. Yeah, City don't have the best defense in the league. In my opinion, if you put facts to one side, I still think City's is the best defense in the league.
Stop this shit.
So earlier on, it was about 12 games. Now it's about your opinion, LB. Wow.
Well, you got to utilize it. You know, the game is the game.
Now you're biased. Now you're moving your bias as well.
The game is the game, bro. You got to do what you got to do.
I actually believe that Van Dijk coming back to his best will make Liverpool's defense absolutely fantastic. Even with Robertson out, it doesn't matter. I think Van Dijk by himself is 2 defenders within 1. Saliba has been playing good for Arsenal. The problem is as of now, Pep Guardiola isn't finding the right balance in the defense because he's waiting for John Stones, who came back. And John Stones is a fantastic player when he inverts and then he helps Rodri in the midfield. But without John Stones, he keeps trying to change that, change this. Gavardiol is still inexperienced. He showed that against Chelsea. In my opinion, people say that Gavardiol is one of the best left backs in the league because there is nobody else. But in my opinion, Gavardiol still lacks a lot of experience. Tons of it. It's the same as when Konate came to Liverpool in the beginning, he was really making mistakes, right? And he still does. He still does, by the way. Sometimes he's a prone to mistake. But in my opinion, still that defense of Manchester City, Rodri's being left isolated. The Kovacic and Nunes trial isn't working at the moment. Kovacic started the season very well, but not at the moment. He's not playing well. He lost the trust of the manager. I think you miss a Gundogan. You miss John Stones next to Rodri because John Stones is a massive player in that midfield. Even when he inverts, Akanji, he has been good against Chelsea, but I still think that somehow this season has not been like last season for Akanji. Somehow it's just eye test.
Akanji wasn't good against Chelsea for me.
So LB is saying that Akanji was the best defender, and I say Akanji was all over the place. He inverted in the first half and didn't do in the second half, and then I thought he wasn't great because when he
in general weren't good. All four weren't good for me.
I'll tell you why I'm saying he wasn't good, LB, and then you can come back. Go ahead. I'm going to tell you why. Because when he inverts and tried to help Rodri, still Chelsea's midfield was able to bypass that midfield and go Sterling 1-on-1 against Walker, Cole Palmer 1-on-1 against Gavardiol. That means that inverting thing didn't work. You couldn't stop the midfield from getting the ball to the wingers and behind.
Okay, so that's a tactical problem. That's on Pep
Guardiola. Yes.
That's on Pep, not Akanji.
But for me, that's not my. I only analyze what I see in front of me.
Yeah, but no, but that's not fair because you're blaming something that's up to the manager to sort out. Akanji played well against Chelsea. He was the only defender, in fact, including the goalkeeper at the back five. He was the only one that could come off that pitch with his head held high. He was the only one that played well. The rest of them were poor and all made mistakes. And what you're talking about midfield, that's not Akanji's fault if they still find a way to break through our midfield. That's the Pep Guardiola issue, which is probably why he changed it.
So why not the players then? So why don't you say that Pep Guardiola set them right and they didn't do their job, so Chelsea were able to bypass the midfield? Why it doesn't go the other way as well? I'm going to tell you what. If Pep Guardiola puts a winger down the wing and the winger didn't get the best out of the fullbacks, do we say, yeah, but he put the wrong winger there, the position is wrong? Or can we also say that the winger didn't do his job? So it can go both ways.
Yeah, but you're just like not sort of putting anything on Pep Guardiola. I'm saying Akanji did well against Chelsea, both in the first half and the second half. He made very few mistakes. He was our best defender by a country mile. And anything, in my view, anything that happened in terms of the midfield, that is not on Pep. That is not on Akanji. That's on Pep Guardiola. Akanji was very good against Chelsea. He was the only one out of our whole back five that could come off that pitch with his head held high. Facts.
I actually didn't think that any of your five in the back played well.
No, you need to rewatch the game more. You need to.
Maybe I will. Maybe because you told me this yesterday. Maybe I will. To be honest with you, because I thought that none of your back five, including Rodri, of course, looked all right. One-on-one battles, they didn't beat anybody. Like in terms of like defensive positioning, it was wrong. You can put that on Pep Guardiola, but also I don't know what happened. I'm not in the dressing. I don't know what Pep Guardiola told them. This is how I thought it was. But anyway, long story short, this defense going against this Liverpool attack in transition, if Liverpool, and this is the last thing we're going to do here because I know Hussam stream. Guys, there's over 400 of you here. Stay here. It will take you to Hussam. Will he have LB, Nobbins, and Tom? That would be absolutely a brilliant, goated stream, in my opinion. That would be amazing. The last thing is that I want to know from Hussam's point of view and from you, LB, how do you think your manager should approach the game? Does he press? Does Liverpool play in counter-attack? Do you play transition-based football, Hussam? Do you move the ball quickly? Do you wait for City and wait for spaces? What do you think should happen?
Home team start first.
Oh, thank you, brother. Okay, so I think Pep Guardiola should keep the game tight. I don't want to see end-to-end game like Chelsea. I don't want to see a basketball match. Keep the thing tight. Try and keep the ball. Move that ball in and around the midfield as much as possible, and try and work out whether or not that Liverpool midfield is good enough to compete over the 90 minutes. Because these players are clever, yeah? City players will know very quickly whether or not they've got the better of the Liverpool midfield. As against Chelsea, they probably knew within 10, 15 minutes that, oh shit, we ain't really dominating this midfield as we usually do. If the City players in that first 10, 15 minutes find that they are getting the better of that Liverpool midfield, then you really need to sort of act upon that and really go through there the whole game. So yeah, keep it tight, just like we did in the Champions League last year against the teams that we played, especially away from home. And ultimately, you know what I mean, if you've got the players like Foden on the pitch, Alvarez, and players that can create chances for Haaland should he play, I think over the course of the game we'll create enough chances to beat Liverpool. And all I say to the defense is, don't crumble like you did against Chelsea. You know what I mean? That Chelsea game is as nasty as it was on the eye for City to obviously for the neutral, it was great, but you know, we didn't have control of the game. At the end of the day, all the goals were terrible mistakes from the City players. So I'm coming into this game, keep things tight, tell the defense to can wake up because that last performance was poor. And yeah, I just think just do what we normally do. I don't think there's anything really to change. Just put the team out there like we normally do, you know, and see what happens. But that midfield for me is the one. I want to see if we can control and dominate that midfield early on.
Away team start second. Liverpool Football Club need to focus on transitions and build up play from midfield onto the wings and from our right backs onto our wingers. I think that's where we will take advantage. Salah against Guardiola, Diaz against Walker. I'm excited. Darwin Núñez needs to start because of the space. As LB just explained, with the space in behind, if they do double up on Salah, then it has got to be Darwin Núñez in there to occupy the space. And the only way we win this game or get a result in this game if Liverpool are clinical. We cannot sit up here after the game and start talking about Núñez caused chaos and he got into dangerous positions. No one gives a fuck, respectfully. It's about us taking our chances. Liverpool need to be clinical. Liverpool's front three need to be on it. And the key for me is what happens in that midfield. We need physicality. We need presence. We need help from our center backs. It needs to be a team effort, the defending in the game. So I believe that I will back my team and say that we will win. But if you give me a draw right now, I take it. And I think a draw away at the Etihad is actually a positive result for us.
I'm not going to do predictions and everything because this game will be played on small details. So forget predictions. People want to do predictions.
The lineup will define the prediction, by the way. That's another thing.
Not on. I actually think it's players on the day, as LB said. If Bernardo's on his day in that midfield, if he plays next to Rodri, I think that will make a massive difference. If Haaland getting the better out of Konate or Van Dijk, if Trent inverts and Doku is isolated against Konate, that will leave a lot of space. There's a lot of small details in this game, tactical small details. I think this will be the most tactical games we watch this year. I can't wait to watch it. Anyway, thank you for everybody that joined us. Thank you, LB. Of course, the channels are in the description. Go give LB a subscription and stay on this one. It will take you to Hussam Street, where he have a great panel for you. Now the banter is going to start. Of course, it's going to be a lot of jokes and it's going to be a lot of football talk. Stay here. Thank you for everybody that super chatted me. Thank you for everybody that watching us. Of course, Wolves FI, Edward, Honesty, Michael Ramsey, Kate, Al Mahdist, Isano, Michael Ramsey again, and German Chicken Wing. Thank you for everybody that super chatted. Appreciate you guys. Stay here. Don't go anywhere. And we'll see you guys on the other side on Hussam stream. I won't be there. I will be in the chat though. Appreciate you, LB. Thank you for joining, man. My man, please, I want LB to text me after this and say he got extra 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers. That would absolutely be brilliant. So please do that. Click on the link in the description and go give him a subscription, like his video, and more LB as well. I'm going to put it in the description as well. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a Premier League preview. Appreciate you both, Hussam and LB. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys later.